Again. All right, so we start recording again. Maybe not a mistake. All right, over to you, Chris.
Is this where I start?
This is where you start, Chris.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you very much, Richard. Hard act to follow. I'm particularly impressed with your hairstyle. I am desperately in need of a barber, and I didn't realise there were any open in Sydney. But
I would say come over, but I don't know if allowed.
Very nice to see everybody, some familiar faces and some folk who I don't know. Nice to meet you all. My name is Christopher, and Richard invited me to give a bit of share my experiences of how to look at and learn plain bob doubles and plain bob minor, and share any insights and shortcuts, if you like, some hot tips. So we'll see how we go. I've got a very broad spectrum of experience and ability in the room. So my apologies to anybody at all if I'm telling you stuff that you already know and you just think, I knew that already. So obviously one of my assumptions is that everybody is confident plain hunters and possibly even confident bob doubles and bob minor people already. Oh, by the way, I meant to say, Richard, I look forward, given your presentation, I look forward to ringing Cambridge Major at Narembeen sometime soon. All right, so I'm going to do some screen sharing as well. I'm conscious that it takes a little time for Zoom to present that, so bear with me, but we'll see. I'm just going to start with a bit of first principles stuff in a way. And okay, apologies, we're going back to plain hunt. Everybody gets, that ringing rounds doesn't get you terribly far. It's very nice, especially if it's well struck and the punters like that, especially when it's getting close to service time. But we do like to mix things up a bit, and we know that we can get lots of different combinations depending on the number of bells that we have available to us. So for instance, I hope you're seeing this now, yes?
Yes.
Terrific. Okie doke. So plain hunt on 5, there are 10 rows from top to bottom, starting in rounds, working our way through the hunt and coming out the other end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see on the left of this diagram, we work through those 10 rows. On 6 bells, we get another 2 changes out of it. So the relationship between the number of rows in plain hunt on any number of bells is 2 times the number of bells involved. So if we've got 5 bells, then there are going to be 10 changes in one cycle through of plain hunt. Oh, hang on, apologies, there goes my clock. Hopefully in tune with anything else we do soon. On 6 bells, 2 times the number of bells is 12, so there are 12 rows in a plain course of plain hunt on 6. A couple of other observations that you'll see here, and you'll know this from your own experience of plain hunt, is, and Richard alluded to this as well, this idea of coursing order. Can you see here? Well, first of all, look at the yellows that I've done there. So if I'm on bell number 1, I know we don't learn plain hunt this way, of course. No. We learn plain hunt by counting our places. But if we happen to see which bells we're following, you'll see in plain hunt on 5, the treble hunts out by following bell number 2, a hand stroke, bell number 4, 5, 3, 2, 4, 5, 3, back down to the lead. Similarly, when we're at the bells that are leading, you can see they lead in that same order, 2, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 1, which is going to be quite useful information later, but I'll just share that with you now. Similarly, on 6 bells, the treble hunting out from 1st place to 6th place follows the bells in the order 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, and then hunting down again 2, 4, 6, 5, 3. And we see that reflected also in the coursing order in which they come to the lead and the order in which they come to the back. So we'll also later on in the chat talk about before and after bells. So what do I mean by that? Let's say I am bell number 4, hunting in plain bob minor from 4th place down to the lead, and I lead. I can see that I'm taking the 2 off the lead. So the 2 has been leading, and then I'm bell number 4, I'm leading after bell number 2. So Bell number 2 is my before bell, then me, bell number 4, I'm leading, and the person who takes me off the lead is bell number 6, so I call that my after bell. So a couple of bit of jargon busting going on there. Before bell, then me, and then my after bell. So everybody has a before bell and an after bell. Now, so we're talking about plain bob doubles and plain bob minor. And Richard alluded to this as well. Most of plain bob doubles and plain bob minor is actually plain hunt. In plain bob doubles, 90% of it is plain hunt. In plain bob minor, it's even more than 90%. And what I've got here in this diagram on the left, so you can see that I've got 9 out of the 10 changes of plain hunt on 5 bells, and I've left the last row blank. Now, if it was plain hunt, the last row there is going to be rounds. But instead of doing a place notation of first place here, I'm actually going to make a place notation of 1, 2, 5. What do I mean by that? Okay, these numbers here, this little aide memoir over here, the DNA of the method, is not only descriptive, it doesn't just describe what's happening from one row to the next, but it's also predictive and tells me what's going to happen next. Okay, so from this row here, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, and imagine that there's somebody on the 6 bonging away. Instead of falling back into rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to have a place made. So we're going to make that place, and we were asking what a place meant, place making, and we're going to have this other place being made. So bell number 3. I want the bell number 3 to stay in seconds place. Now, what does that do? That forces the other bells above, to the right of 1 and 3 to carry on. Well, they've got nowhere else to go. So 5 is going to go there, and 2 is going to go there, and 4's got nowhere else to go, so it stays there. So this is the lead end. So the treble has gone out to the back and come all the way back in again to lead twice. We've forced the bell to make seconds, which causes all this other work to happen above to the right. Now, this is only one lead, but by making that single little change, that trivial little change, we've created a whole new row. Now, you'll know also from the numbers that we talk about in ringing that on 5 bells, although plain hunt's only got 10 changes in it, that's nowhere near the maximum number of combinations we can get on 5 bells. You might have heard us talk about factorials. The number of possible combinations on 5 bells is 1 by 2 by 3 by 4 by 5, 120. So plain hunt only gives us 10 of those, but we know that there are 120 possible ones. So how can we generate more of those extra combinations? And plain bob doubles is one of the first starting points for achieving that. So by making that little kink there in the 10th row of every 10 rows, we generate a whole new set of sequences. Now, the treble in plain bob doubles is hunting, so it's unaffected. It's just ringing plain hunt all the way. And it's the other 4 bells that we call working bells. So the treble, it must be, hauling away, heaving away up to the back and down to the front, but it's not called a working bell. It might be doing lots of work, but it's not what we call a working bell. So it's only the ones that do this extra stuff that we describe as working bells. And I'll come back to that shortly. So similarly, if we're looking at 6 bells, we know that the maximum number of combinations on 6 bells is 1 by 2 by 3 by 4 by 5 by 6, which is 720. That's a lot, isn't it? 5 bells, 120, takes about 5 minutes to ring. Multiply that by 6. It's around 25 minutes to ring 720. So in this one here, plain hunt, cross 1 6, cross 1 6, cross 1 6. So the cross means every adjacent pair of bells swaps, and the 1 6 rule means that the bell in position 1 and the bell in position 6 stay fixed. But instead of doing a 1 6, we're going to do a 1 2 in this last row, and that's going to force the 3 to make a place in seconds, which then means that these guys have to do a dodge, and we'll come to that. Well, we've already talked about dodges with Richard as well. So that's a bit of sort of first principle stuff, if you like. So I'm going to stop sharing that and see what that means in practice with plain bob doubles. Now, I hope, Richard, you sent around a few crib sheets in advance, yeah?
I did.
Yeah, good.
But only to those on the Eventbrite.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you will, I'm just going to share them anyway. So next one is this one. So plain bob doubles, bear with me. This is coming to your screen any minute now. So this is from the ART folk. But again, plain bob doubles is plain bob doubles, and there are plenty of other examples which will say the same thing in pretty much the same way. Plain bob doubles is usually one of the first methods that you learn after you've mastered plain hunt. The treble is not working. Plain hunt's up to 5th place and back. And the other lot, the other 4, are what we call working bells. And because of that, funny little thing that happens every 10th row, every 10th change, it forces the bells not to be plain hunting, but to do something a little bit different. And Richard's already described that in his presentation. And so the kinds of things that will happen are things like making seconds around the treble, dodging in 3/4 down, dodging in 3/4 up, and making 4 blows in 5th place. So in terms of what Richard described as the cycle of work, those are the bits of work. And just to reiterate, in bob doubles, 9/10 of it is plain hunting. 9/10 of it. All the excitement happens in that single row, that lead in with the treble's backstroke, which forces, so we have one bell making seconds, and that forces all the bells to the right above the bell making seconds have to do something a little bit different. So here on the left of the diagram, you'll see the blue line. So red line for the treble, which is plain hunting, and blue line here. Now, each of the 4 working bells, they do the same cycle of work, the same, but they start that cycle at a different point in the cycle. So on this diagram, with the blue line is pricking out what the 2 is doing. But at the end of that lead, you'll see that dodge there, 3/4 down. That's happening at the treble's lead end. So you can see the treble is making the red line there is making a place at the lead, and bell number 2 is dodging 3/4 down. I hope you can see the mouse pointer as well. Yeah. Okay. So that's where the bell number 4 starts. So it's the same cycle, just starting at that point in the cycle. Boom, 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 boom. Next time the treble's leading here, that same bell is up the back. And because somebody's making seconds, it's forcing these bells in 3/4 to do their dodge. There's nowhere else for this guy to go. So it's stuck at the back, 4 blows to 5ths. Sorry, Bill. Bill, you're not on mute. Hello. And down to the lead. Next time the treble's leading here, our same blue line bell is in the 3/4 up position. I'll talk about what we mean between up dodge and down dodge. And then we carry on, and it's, okay, the treble takes this bell off the lead, so it's forced to make seconds. So we talked about a lead of plain hunt having 10 rows, and in plain bob doubles, the treble is unaffected. The treble is plain hunting, backwards and forwards. So the other 4 bells are working bells. So a little bit of mental maths will tell you that if there are 4 working bells, there are going to be 4 iterations. There are going to be 4 leads. So the treble is going to go out of the back and down to the front 4 times, yeah, in a plain course of plain bob doubles. So that's going to fit in each of these 4 bits of work. So the treble will go to the back and lead, go to the back and lead, go to the back and lead 4 times. And each of the working bells is going to work their way through that cycle of work, and it's going to take them 4 leads to do it, because there's 4 bits of work for 4 working bells. I'll scroll down in this presentation here, and here it is again. So you've seen the blue line above, and here's that cycle of work that we talked about. So there's a lot of information here in the cycle of work. Looking at the blue arrows going around clockwise, I might start here with seconds place bell. Yeah. And I plain hunt for 9/10 of it. Yeah. And in the 10th row, I've got to do something different. Okay. I'm hunting down. There's a bell. There are 2 bells below me. So I've hunted down from 5th place, 4th place. I get the treble is leading. Somebody's making seconds. I've got to do something. And I know because I've learned it by visualizing it and by verbalizing it, I've got to do a dodge. So here I've got to dodge 3, 4 down. So that's the work that I do. And then I carry on my plain hunting. And where have I've now become 4th place bell. So I've come through one whole lead, the treble going out to the back and down to the front. I lead, the treble leads. I'm in 3, 4 down. At the backstroke of that treble's lead, I'm in 4th position. So I've come from the back, 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, pull a little harder at that hand stroke, rise up again. So at the backstroke, I'm in a new position. I'm in 4th place. Off I go again, plain hunt to the lead, all the way up the back. And by the time the treble leads again, I'm still at the back. All the bells are doing other stuff below me. There's nothing else I could do. I need to stay put in long 5ths. And at the backstroke, I'm in the middle of those 4 blows. So I've done a backstroke and a hand stroke. And the backstroke is the lead in. I'm still in 5ths. So I'm 5th place bell. But, I know at the backstroke of the treble's lead, where am I? I'm in 5th place. Right. So I call myself 5th place. Off I go again. I finish my placemaking, hand stroke in 5th, hunt down to the lead. And on the way up, I pass the treble. And I think, right, okay, I know that I've got to do something here. There's a bell making seconds and a bell stuck in 5th, so I've got to dodge again. So that's 3, 4 up dodge. So in this instance, I'm in 4th place at a hand stroke, and I've got to cut in at the backstroke into 3rds, but pulling quite firmly at that backstroke so that I'm ready to rise up again into 4th place, and I continue hunting up, which is why it's called an up dodge. So my general direction is up towards the back. So the dodge interrupts that, but then I've got to carry on that general direction up to the back, 2 blows in 5ths, hunt my way back down, lead. Here comes the treble taking me off the lead. I make seconds. Now that cycle of work, and Richard described this in his presentation, the stuff in bold is the shorthand, if you like. And that's something that I would memorize, well, first of all, by looking at the diagram, but also by verbalizing it. So just like learning a poem, or just like knowing how I, jump in the car and drive to Bunnings without actually thinking about how I do it. It's not in my forebrain. I just remember that cycle of work: make seconds, dodge 3, 4 down, long 5ths, dodge 3, 4 up, make seconds, dodge 3, 4 down, etc., etc. So the plain course has got 4 leads. So there are the 4 pieces of work. And if the conductor is happy and it sounds good and it's well struck and it's not quite service time, he might carry on and do it again and again and again. I'd like to just look at the 4 pieces of work in terms of north, south, east, and west. Yeah. So if I can say, so like making seconds and long 5ths are north and south, and these 2 dodges, 3, 4 up and 3, 4 down, are east and west. When you're ringing plain bob doubles in a plain course and you're looking for signposts, let's say you're bell number 2. Let's say you start as bell number 2. That means you're just finishing making seconds. You've just done the seconds, and that's where you start. That's the beginning and the end. Okay. When the conductor says go, the bell number 2 is just finished making its seconds and it leads again. Interestingly, what's happening at the other end of the change, right down here in the south, is somebody's been finishing long 5ths. Now, in the plain course, that's bell number 5, because 2 starts in 2nd place bell and 5 starts in 5th place bell. Yeah, so that's easy. But keep an eye on that, because as you move around the dial, okay, 2nd place bell's moved over this way to the 3, 4 down dodge, whereas 5th place bell's moved over this way to 3, 4 up dodge. Now, everything, of course, nothing happens in isolation. It all knits together. So if bell number 2 has moved over here and she's doing the 3, 4 down dodge, It's with somebody else. It's not in isolation. It's not in a vacuum. It's with another bell. And who is it? It's the bell that's doing the 3/4 up dodge. So whoever's doing the 3/4 down dodge, it's with this other bell doing a 3/4 up dodge. And in a plain course anyway, if you're seconds place bell, your next piece of work is 3/4 down. If you're fifth place bell, bell number 5, your next piece of work is 3/4 up dodge. So these guys are buddies, they're twinned, yeah? So let's say you're ringing plain bell doubles from the 2, you go through a whole lead, get to the end of that lead, you know you're going to do a 3/4 dodge. Who's it going to be with? Oh, look at that, it's the 5. I can see that. And if I was to look at that here, I can see here, there's that. My blue line is the 2, and I can see I've got the 5 bouncing around with me. Yeah. So that's quite handy to know. And then if I move around the dial again, another quarter turn, bell number 2 is now making fifth place. And you think, oh, where's my old buddy, the 5? Where's that gone? Oh, it's making seconds because it's at the opposite end of the cycle of work. Around the dial again, another quarter turn, and bell number 2 is doing a 3/4 up dodge. Who's it going to be with? Oh, the same other bell, bell number 5. So when you're starting off with plain bell doubles and you're thinking, well, who am I looking for? You know, there's all these bells there. It's a wall of ropes. Who am I looking for? In a plain course, at least, you're going to meet the same other bell in those 3/4 dodges. So if you can clock who it is that you're dodging with in the 3/4 down dodge, you're going to see that same other bell when you come to your 3/4 up dodge. It's going to be the same person. Okay, that's one little insight. And another one to share, certainly in the plain course, when you're making long fifths, it's who's it over? You think, oh, who am I looking for? Who's it going to be over? Well, first of all, it's not going to be with that buddy bell, because that buddy bell's at the opposite end of the cycle of work. So it's not going to be them. Okay, if you're doing long fifths, your buddy bell's going to be making seconds. So they're out of the picture. So process of elimination, there's only those 2 other bells who are the ones that you've never been working with. So you can see here, the blue line is the 2 making 4 blows in fifths. And these other guys, as it happens, it's 3 and 4, are dodging with themselves. One's doing 3/4 down, one's doing 3/4 up. And who do I strike over? So these 4 blows are backstroke, handstroke, backstroke, handstroke. And you can see it's 3, then 4, then 3, then 4, A, B, A, B. So it's not going to be it's going to change, backstroke, handstroke, but it's a predictable thing. So it's going to be bell A, then bell B, then bell A again, then bell B again. And then that's it. You've done your 4 blows in fifths, hunt down, A, B, A, B. So a couple of little insights there about the shape of how it all fits together. One tip is, in the plain course anyway, whoever you're meeting in 3/4 is going to be that same other bell. And then another tip, when you're doing the 4 blows in fifths, once you've spot, you know, the bell at backstroke, the bell at handstroke, it's the same bing bong one more time before you leave the back. And yeah, I talked about the mechanics of dodging, that, you know, when you're hunting up and you're doing an up dodge, yeah, you strike fourths at a handstroke and you then check in at backstroke to get your bell into thirds, but at the same time pulling quite firmly at that backstroke to be able to then rise up again into 4th place and then 5th place. There are plenty of folk who, when they're first doing these dodges, they don't quite get the mechanics of it right, the physics of it. And similarly, when you're doing a dodge down, you get to 3rd place at a handstroke, but you know that you've got to hold up into 4th. So that handstroke in thirds, you pull quite firmly so that your bell can rise up at the backstroke up into 4th place, and then down again quite swiftly into 3rd place at handstroke, 2nd place at backstroke, lead, lead. And I'm not going to talk about touches tonight. There we are. So I'm going to stop sharing that one as well. How am I going so far? Any eyes glazed over?
All good.
All good. Terrific. Okay. All right.
Very well,
yeah. Norma, hello.
Hi, how are you, Chris?
Nice to see you again.
I'm still here.
Yeah, fantastic. There we are. I bounce around and you're still there.
Yes, that was really well explained.
Oh, thank you. Oh, was that it? Oh, sorry, I thought there was a question.
No, that was it.
Oh, right. Well, if that is all right, well, stretching it a bit, shall I go on to Bob Minor then?
Mhm.
Okay, all right, same kind of idea. So I sent a PowerPoint around about that. It's not my PowerPoint, it's somebody else's. Oh, hang on, I've got to do the sharing thing, don't I? Bear with me. And is that it? Yeah. I'm not as thrilled with this PowerPoint, but there's no point reinventing the wheel, is there? What I liked about this, I mean, I've reversed the order of the slides a bit. Is they talk about coursing order at the end, and actually I think that's quite useful to learn at the beginning. I mentioned this when I was talking about plain hunt and the order in which the bells come to the lead, and the order that you strike over. Let's say if you ring the treble, then you pass the bells 2, 4, 5, 3, 2, 4, 5, 3, or if it's minor, it's 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 1, etc., etc. And I talked about before bells and after bells. Yeah. So, and here it says right at the end, what I said earlier, let's say you're ringing the 4, then the 2 is your before bell and the 6 is your after bell. And that will make a bit more sense when we get more into plain Bob Minor. But these slides, oh, now how do I get them to? All right, plain Bob Minor toolbox. Okay. So a lot of people start with plain Bob doubles. What's the difference between Bob doubles and Bob Minor? Well, there's one extra bell. And what does that mean in practice? So that order of work that I talked about, instead of having 4 pieces of work, we've got 5 pieces of work because the treble is still plain hunting. That leaves 5 other bells, and they all work their way through that cycle of work. So there's 5 bits of work. Not surprisingly, how many leads are there in a plain course of plain Bob Minor? There are 5 working bells, so there are 5 leads. Each lead has got 12 changes, whereas in doubles it was 10 changes. So 5 12s gives you 60. So you get 60 changes in a plain course of plain Bob Minor, which is good, but we know we can get 720 possible combinations, but we'd have to use bobs and singles to achieve that. So we're just talking about plain courses. So in the plain course, we've got 60 unique rows. Okay, so the order of work, there's a lot of familiar stuff. Somebody makes seconds, and that forces the bells above, to the right of whoever's making seconds, to dodge. So there's dodges that happen in 3, 4, just like in plain Bob doubles. So you get seconds, same as in plain Bob doubles. You get 3, 4 down, same as in plain Bob doubles. You get 3, 4 up, same as in plain Bob doubles. But what you don't get in Bob Minor is you don't get this long fifths business because we've got an extra bell. We've got 6 bells. So what we get is, in parallel with the 3, 4 dodges, we have similar dodges in 5, 6. Yeah. So what's the cycle of work? There it is. Look at that. So I haven't got north, south, east, and west because I've got 5 things. Here's seconds place bell starts. It's just finished making seconds. Round we go clockwise. Same as in Bob doubles. We get to 3, 4. The treble is leading. Somebody's making seconds. That forces us to do a dodge. Yeah. So thirds place at hand stroke, pull, get up at backstroke, up into fourths, down again, third, seconds, lead. And we're now fourth place bell. So at the treble's lead end, the backstroke, my bell is in 4th position, so I'm 4th place bell. Round I go, down to the lead, plain hunt. And again, 11/12ths of it is plain hunt. All the excitement happens in that 12th row of every lead. At which point, there I am in 5, 6. I've got to do something, so I'll dodge. Puts me into 6th place bell, all the way down to the front lead, all the way plain hunting up again. And the next time the treble's leading, I'm also in 5, 6 still, so I do a 5, 6 up dodge. It's funny to call it up because you can't get any further up, but it's still called an up dodge because I've been hunting up seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, 6ths, yeah, at a hand stroke, back into fifths at a backstroke, and then lie again, 6, 6. So it's still called an up dodge, even though there's nowhere else to go. You're already as up as you can get up, if you see what I mean. But anyway, then we finish our lie, hunt down, lead, and on the way up, treble's leading, we are required to make a dodge up. Yeah, so I'm in 4th place at the hand stroke. I cut into 3rd place at the backstroke, but pull quite firmly at that backstroke, ready to rise up again at the next hand stroke, 4th, 5th, 6th, carry on my plain hunting up, all the way around, get down to the lead, treble takes me off, so I make seconds. Just as an aside, it is, I know, quite confusing for plenty of folk that the 3-4 dodges, we say the same thing, even though 3-4 down means 3rds at hand stroke, 4th at backstroke, so 3-4 makes sense. So there's a perfectly valid question, why isn't the up dodge called a 4-3? And I get that. It's just what it is. Strictly speaking, it's a 4-3 up dodge, but we don't call it that. We're in position 3-4, so one of them is up and one of them is down. So I'm really sorry about that. It is confusing, but it's something that we just have to live with. In Bob Doubles, I talked about this sort of buddy bell concept where, the bell that's 2nd place bell and the bell that's 5th place bell end up doing 3-4 dodges together with each other. You don't see that in Bob Minor so much. However, you will see how coursing order affects things. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to stop sharing this one and I'm going to share a different diagram. Bear with me, please. There we go. Share that. Okay. That should be coming to your screen anytime soon. Okay. This is using that blue line printer that Richard referred to by Martin Bright. I find it quite useful. You see the shorthand DNA place notation here on the left margin, cross 1-6, cross 1-6, cross 1-6, etc., 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 cross 1-6 until you get to the lead end, and we have a 1-2. And that also you can see here, bell number 3 is making seconds, which is forcing the bells above dodge. Now the blue line that I've printed in here is just bell number 4. So a couple of insights, and I shared this at the Excel spreadsheet at the beginning. Look at the order in which the bells come to the lead. Look down the first column here. Yeah, so there's the treble finishing its lead. We've got 2, then me, the 4, the blue line, 4, then 6, then 5, then 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, and there's the treble, so 3 makes seconds, 3 again, 2, 4, 6, 5, oh, there's the treble, 5 again, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, oh, there's the treble, 6. So apart from interruptions whenever the treble is leading, that mantra 2, 4, 6, 5, 3, 2, 5, 6 is 2, 4, 6, 5, 3 is consistent all the way through. And happily in plain Bob doubles and plain Bob minor, the lead end order. So 2, here's the 2. Next lead end 2 is in 4th place, so it becomes the 4. Another lead goes by, it becomes the 6. Another lead goes by and it becomes the 5. 5th place bell, another lead goes by, 1st place bell. So 2, 4, 6, 5, 3. There it is again. That cycle comes up again and again and again. And that's quite helpful. In the plain course anyway, I wouldn't rely on it too much because as soon as there's a bob or a single, that coursing order is going to change to something else. But in the plain course, to start with, that's quite handy. So let's say I'm bell number 4. And I know I'm an even bell, so I start by hunting in, hunting down. Who is my before bell? My before bell is the 2. All right, so the 2 leads, then the 4. And who's coming down after me, after the 4? Oh, there's the 6 coming down. Okay, the 6 is my after bell. So my before bell, and then I lead, and then my after bell takes me off the lead. Well, that's very nice to know, very handy. Now, I get to the back. So here's bell number 4. I go through 11 changes. I get to the 12th change, and I've got to do something. So looky there, I'm doing a dodge, 5, 6 down, and it's with my after bell. Ooh, that's nice. I've seen this person before. Okay, that's handy to know. And now I'm 6th place bell. All right, so bell number 4, I'm in 6th position. So I hunt down. There's my before bell again. Look at that. There's the 2. Then I lead, and there's my after bell, the 6. Oh, that's quite handy. Look, it's all knitting together. Yeah, there's nowhere to go. You can't say I'm lost. Well, you can, but The thing is, there are so many signposts. Yeah, you think, all right, I know that I'm bracketed between 2 and 6. I'm bell number 4. 2 is my before bell. 6 is my after bell. Just hang in there, Christopher. You'll be fine. Okay, hunting up again, and I get to that, and I know that I've got a column break here, which is not easy. But so I get to that 12th row, and I'm doing a dodge up. Oh, who am I dodging with? Looky there, it's my before bell. So I'm bell number 4, and I'm dodging with bell number 2. The previous lead end, I was dodging in 5-6 with my after bell. And in this dodge, 5-6 up, I'm dodging with my before bell. Oh, well, that's easy. Cool. They were just there, so I dodged with them. Handy. Off I go again, hunting down. Look, there's my before bell leading, then me, the 4, and then there's my after bell, the 6. Okay, so the before and after bell, we are sort of working together in those 5-6 dodges, and at the lead, we're kind of with each other. The 3-4 dodges, they're with the other lot. Yeah. So if you want to know who you're dodging with in 3-4, it's not going to be the treble or your before bell or your after bell. So that really sort of process of elimination, there's only 2 other bells left. And here's this up dodge is with one of them. And then over here, the other down dodge is with the other one of them. So you know it's not going to be the 2 or the 6 if I'm bell number 4. This is just using bell number 4 as the example. Anyway, so I've done my dodge up to the back, 6, hunting down again. There's my before bell, then me. Oh, then there's the treble. That's a bit of an interruption, so I make seconds. Lead again, and there's my after bell. Yeah. So that coursing order is really a very, very useful signpost. There we are. Now I know that I've been rattling through this, so my apologies. So hot tips from me for Bob Miner: know the order of work. You know, just like learning a poem or learning a song, Waltzing Matilda, or that how you memorize, how you drive to Bunnings without actually thinking about it. That has to become second nature. So that cycle of work: seconds, 3-4 down, 5-6 down, 5-6 up, 3-4 up, seconds, and that just has to be second nature. But layered on top of that is this really useful stuff about who's my before bell, who's my after bell. And also, if you can, keep an eye on where the treble is. Now, there's a lot of stuff, and I've not spoken to it, about if I pass the treble in this position, then I do that next. Well, that's useful as well, but you're possibly overloading yourself there. If, while you're ringing away, you're counting your place madly, you can also clock the trebles coming to the lead, or there's the lead, I must be about to do something. Oh, look, I'm in 3-4, I'd better dodge. That is really, really helpful. So I'm going to stop sharing there, share that, boom, 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 back to the screen. And yeah, just to reinforce what Richard was saying about ways to learn, I agree, heartily agree, that verbalizing is a really good reinforcement to visualizing. It's all very well to sit on the train and look at a blue line, and it's, you can look at it and you can look at it and until your eyes sort of go double crossed. But to my mind, verbalizing it is a really good reinforcement, because it's like 2 different sort of sections of our brain. The visual part of our brain, that's good. So that's using half your brain to learn it. But by verbalizing it, that's the other side. Yeah. So that hemisphere that uses the verbalization. So you're doubling your learning capacity. You're doubling how you can learn something. So verbalize as well as visualize. And I think I'm probably going to stop there and open it up for any questions.
Thanks, Chris.
Hello.
So I'm having issues with my video, so I hope it doesn't affect the recording. But I can't see half the attendees. So yeah, please speak up if you've got a question.
Oh, well, I think that's because they've walked away, mate, or fallen asleep.
We're still here.
All right.
No, that was great. Excellent. Thank you very much.
But
Very
I get the impression that you're already doing Bob Doubles and Bob Miner, aren't you? Most of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Diane, no, that was a big no.
Yeah, but there's still, I mean, to hear you talk about it, there are still things that I hadn't thought about in relation to the coursing bell and things like that.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, the thing is, it's a closed system. There's nowhere to go. And so you can see how all the moving parts actually move in relation to each other.
We've only done
Excellent.
Bob doubles. We haven't done Bob minor, and we haven't done Bob doubles for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay, so Kinmun.
Yes, Chris, the tricky part for a lot of new ringers on minor methods is the leading part of it, because there's no tenor to follow.
Yeah.
Are there any tricks to learn about that?
Yeah, mate, I'm going to give you a hot tip. Get Mabel. Have you got Mabel?
No.
All right, do you know what I'm talking about?
It.
Okay, all right. You know, look, it's the best investment of 10 quid in your life. It will help. I mean, how do I, you know, I'm not getting any commission here, I promise. But so you can set, so Mabel, right? So the robot, the machine will play all the other bells for you, and you're just one bell, okay? And you're just doing it with your finger, or if you've got a gaming controller, you can get a sort of a handbell simulation. However, you can set the speed of ringing, so you can be 2.5 hour peel speed or 4 hour peel speed, whatever, you know, if you want to start slow, that's terrific. But it will be completely metronomic, yeah? And what it will help you to do is to understand innately the rhythm that you're looking for, yeah? And when it comes to leading, yeah, you're right that when you're on an even number of bells, there's no cover bell to watch out for. I get that. But with something like Maybell or a simulator, it'll become self-correcting, where you know, all right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it won't be a visual thing anymore. It'll be an audio thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But Maybell, it's bloody marvelous.
Is that on the phone or is it on a laptop software?
So it works for Apple, it works for PC, and it works on phones.
On phones.
I personally, I would struggle to use it on a phone, but that's, I'm showing my age. Norma, hi.
Find it easy knowing the after bell, so that if you can pace yourself to know when to pull in and when to go into seconds after your after bell. If you know your after bell, that helps a lot.
Yeah, cool.
That's just my hint.
Yep, excellent, thank you. Yeah, Richard. So I'm conscious we're a little bit over time, but and you're on mute as well. But
Yeah.
What's the plan? Are we still recording?
Still recording, as far as I can tell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
Well, I better stay on script then, hadn't I?
yeah. But I think unless there are any more questions, then we might call it a day.
Yeah. Hopefully, you're going to do some sort of formal or informal feedback process, so we can learn, you know, what's working for people, what's not working, how we can improve these. Yeah.
Yep. I'll put together a survey at some point to work that out. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, Chris, for that brilliant talk.
Well, no, it's a pleasure, and I hope there's a few insights in there for anybody. And I look forward to ringing with you again soon, sometime. Come on down to Goulburn. We're quite friendly here.
If only.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Lovely to see you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks very much, everyone. Good night.
Hi, Jane.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye. See you.
Oh, we-
Well.
I don't know how we